Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Inna alhamdulillahi nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh. Wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lah wa man yudlil fala hadiya lah. Wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Amma ba'd. Today I'm going to talk to you about Sadaqah. Now, Sadaqah, we often talk about it and we know that it means optional charity. So you've got Zakah, which is the obligatory charity, and then you have Sadaqah, which is the optional charity. Now I want to look into why it's called Sadaqah into a little bit more detail. Now Sadaqah comes from the Arabic word Sidq. Sidq means truthful. So now you may be wondering, why is this optional charity called Sadaqah? Now, if we consider another hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, then maybe that could shed some light on this. Now, the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, As-sadaqatu burhan, that charity, this optional charity, is a proof, is an evidence. Now, Sadaqah is called Sadaqah because it's a proof of a person's iman. It's a strong evidence of the strength of their iman. Now, why is that? Now, if you look at the word wealth in Arabic, it's called mal. So the word for wealth in Arabic is mal. Now, mal means to lean towards something, to tend towards something. And wealth in Arabic is called mal because we tend to lean in our love towards these things. So whether it be gold and silver and paper money or even electronic money like today, then whatever it is that has value, property and livestock, whatever it is, then we tend to love these things. So our desires lean towards these things. So that's why it's called mal. Now, going back to why Sadaqah is called Sadaqah, then if you give your wealth, your mal, that which you tend to lean towards, that which you love, and you give it to a cause, then and you hope, and you do that because you hope for the reward from Allah, then your love for that reward from Allah, that pleasure from Allah, is greater than the love of that wealth. So the love that you have for Allah's pleasure is greater than the love of that wealth. And so that's why it's called Sadaqah, because that's a proof of your iman. Nobody would do such a thing. Nobody would give away their wealth to a cause unless they believed that they were getting something greater. So that's the nature of the insan, that we give things away or we do something for the love of that thing, for a greater love that we a greater love that we hope for. So that's why when a person gives Sadaqah, that's a proof, a burhan. Burhan is like a strong evidence of their iman, because nobody would do such a thing unless they strongly believe in the reward that they will be receiving from Allah. And that's why you see the companions, they had strong proof of their iman. They had strong proof of their iman. So for example, if you consider Abu Bakr Siddiq, he was narrated once to have given all of his wealth in charity. Uthman ibn Affan, he came once with 10,000 dirhams, and he gave it to the Prophet ﷺ to equip a military expedition there. And the Prophet ﷺ was so pleased with that charity that Uthman gave, and he prepared that whole army there, that the Prophet ﷺ, obviously receiving knowledge from Allah, from Jibreel, he was told that Uthman, nothing would harm him after that day. That because of that charity, Allah had forgiven everything that he would do or had done because of that charity. Now, obviously, we don't know this because this is in the knowledge of the unseen. But we hope for such a forgiveness as well. When we give charity, we hope for such a forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, the Prophet ﷺ said, moving on, that Sadaqah tudfi'ul khati'ah, that the Sadaqah, it extinguishes a mistake. Kama yutfi'ul ma'un nar, just like water extinguishes fire. So if there's a fire, then water will extinguish that fire. And so we have mistakes, then the Sadaqah will erase and put those mistakes out. Now, we need to consider a verse, a very important few verses of the Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned, where Allah says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تلهكم أموالكم وأولادكم عن ذكر الله. That, oh, you who believe. So Allah has addressed us in this. We have Iman, we believe in Allah. So Allah is addressing us. He says, oh, you who believe, do not let your wealth, your money, and your children distract you from the dhikr of Allah, from your prayers, and from your other obligations towards Allah. وَمَنْ يَفْعَلْ ذَلِكَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ. And whoever does that, then they are of the losers. So they have lost in this world, and they have lost in the next world. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala goes on in the next verse to say, وَأَنْفِقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقْنَاكُمْ مِنْ قَبْلِ أَنْ يَأْتِيَ أَحَدَكُمُ الْمَوْتِ. And spend from that which we have given you. So from that which we have provided you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the one that has given us this wealth. مِنْ قَبْلِ أَنْ يَأْتِيَ أَحَدَكُمُ الْمَوْتِ. Before death should come to one of you. Yeah, so give this, don't procrastinate in giving in charity, saying that, oh, I'll do this and I'll do that first, but give that charity. Then such a person, if death comes to such a person, فَيَقُولْ رَبِّي لَوْلَا أَخَّرْتَنِي إِلَىٰ أَجْلٍ قَرِيبٍ. And they would say, yeah, when the angel of death comes to them and they are dying, in the process of dying, that person would say, oh my Lord, why don't you, would that you not let me live into a little bit longer, just let me live a little bit longer. Why? فَأَصَّدَّقَ وَأَكُن مِّنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. So that I can give in charity and so that I can be of the pious people. And then Allah goes on to say, وَلَنْ يُؤَخِّرَ اللَّهُ نَفْسًا إِذَا جَاءَ أَجْلُهَا. And that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would never delay somebody's time when it has come. Allah khabirun bima ta'amalun. And Allah knows all that we do. So don't procrastinate in giving in charity. If you have money, then give that into a worthy cause there. Maybe sacrifice on something that we have. So maybe don't upgrade on your phone this year, for example. Some people may get a new phone every year. Well, maybe just this year, sacrifice on that. Go with the old phone and give that money in charity. That will be better. That will be better for such a person. Now, the Prophet ﷺ mentioned in a hadith, لا تزول قدما عبد يوم القيامة, that the feet of a slave of Allah will not move from its position on the Day of Judgment. حتى يسأل عن أربع, until that person, that slave, is asked about 4 things. عمره فيما أفناه, that his life, what did they spend their life doing? وعن علمه فيما فعل, and their knowledge, how did they use their knowledge? وعن ماله من أين اكتسبه, and about their wealth, where did they earn their wealth? وفيما أنفقه, and their wealth, and what did they spend their wealth on? Did they just waste it on new cars every year? Did they just waste it on fancy clothes that they didn't need? Where did they spend that wealth? وعن جسمه فيما أبلاه, and on about their body, how did they use their body in this world? Allah gave us strength and health. What did we use that in? A very strong hadith there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask us about our wealth that we have. Now, the Prophet ﷺ also mentioned in another hadith, يَتْبَعُ الْمَيِّتَ ثَلَاثَ, that a person, when they die, 3 things will follow them. فَيَرْجَعُ اثْنَانِ وَيَبْقَى مَعَهُ وَاحِدٌ, that 2 will return and 1 thing will remain with that person. يَتْبَعُهُ أَهْلُهُ وَمَالُهُ وَعَمَلُهُ. So 3 things that will follow the person to their grave will be their family and their wealth and their knowledge and their deeds. فَيَرْجَعُ أَهْلُهُ وَمَالُهُ, and so that their family return back and their wealth. وَيَبْقَى عَمَلُهُ. So, and the only thing that will go down with the person in the grave is their deeds. So their family and their wealth go back, but their deeds is what is with them. Their charity, their salah, and everything that they gave and they did of good deeds in this world, that will remain with a person. Now, this wealth that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with, we need to consider its reality. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, آمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ, that believe in Allah and His Messenger. وَأَنْفِقُوا مِمَّا جَعَلَكُمْ مُسْتَخْلَفِينَ فِيهِ, and spend of that which we have entrusted you with. So this wealth is not ours, it's been entrusted to us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with this, and He's entrusted it to us to see what we would do with it. So we shouldn't be so arrogant and think that, oh, this money is my money. It's my money. No. وَلِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. And that to Allah belongs everything that is in the heavens and the earth. So the money that we have is actually Allah's money. Yeah? مِمَّا جَعَلَكُمْ مُسْتَخْلَفِينَ فِيهِ. That we have been entrusted with this money. Yeah? To see how we're going to behave with this money, to see what we're going to do with it. فَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَأَنفَقُوا لَهُمْ أَجْرٌ كَبِيرٌ. And Allah goes on to say that those who believe from amongst you and spend in charity in good causes, لَهُمْ أَجْرٌ كَبِيرٌ, that they would have a vast reward with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now at this point, the avenues of spending are many. Now we probably, every Ramadan, everybody's bombarded with different different things, different charities, different places, causes that need money. Now, obviously, we can't spend in every single avenue, so we need to be wise and think how we can invest this money. Yeah, because some things that we spend our charity in can be more rewardable for us. So we want to look at that charity that will remain for us even when we're buried, that maybe we could still carry on gaining reward from that charity that we gave. So every single charity that comes to us, we need to consider it very carefully and think, is that an investment? Like an investment, like people would consider different investments. There's so many places that you can invest your money to make it, to multiply your money, but you would consider the one that would give you more returns. So likewise, consider the charities that would give you more return in the next world. Now, this is my opinion, but zakat, obviously, that we have to give, the obligatory zakat that you have to give, we give that inshallah, and that goes out to the poor and needy people worldwide, and we've given that already. But the sadaqah, the optional charity, that we are free to give anywhere we want, and we know that you cannot give zakat to the building of a masjid. So the building of a masjid has to be from the sadaqah, the optional charity money there. So I would, in my humble opinion, give whatever sadaqah you could to Nur Islam. Now, why am I saying that? Not just because I work at Nur Islam, but because if you consider Nur Islam and you compare it to many other organizations, many other masajid, you will see that it provides facilities and services for a human being from the time that they're born until the time that they're buried. The whole life of a person is covered with different services at Nur Islam. So primarily, obviously, the prayer facilities there. You have in the new masjid, there will be such a vast area for brothers and sisters to be able to pray. There will be a youth club. Now, sometimes people that are in older years, have older children, are worried about their children. What are they doing? They're going out on the streets. What are they doing? Nur Islam will provide a youth club where at least they're at the masjid. They could stop, at least pray, and then carry on doing what they're doing. Also, there will be a gym in two gyms in the masjid. There will be a male gym and a female gym. So instead of going to other gyms outside, you get a chance to keep fit and go to the masjid at the same time. Now, like I said, Nur Islam provides services from the beginning of someone's life until the end. So the circumcision, inshallah, services that were provided before will again start again once the masjid is finished. A food bank for people that are needy. People that are Muslims or non-Muslims can come to the masjid. It's a great form of da'wah to be able to come and take food from the masjid, and that will soften their hearts towards Islam. A soup kitchen. So maybe once a week there will be a kitchen that will be open for people, anybody, Muslims and Muslims, can come to the masjid and have food there. A library where students can come and study. Now, we know that students, they obviously need peace and quiet. They need books to be able to study in a good environment. Now, which environment would you rather your teenage child to go and study in? At the normal library where you don't know where they could be mixing with, or the mosque library? So there will be a library at the new masjid, inshallah. A coffee shop where even non-Muslims can come in and buy drinks and snacks within the masjid, within the full front of the masjid itself. A retail shop where there will be Islamic things and other things that people can buy. Even self-defense classes. If somebody wants to learn the skills of being able to defend themselves. Like the Prophet ﷺ said that the strong believer is better than the weak believer. Classes of all kinds, all different types of classes. Now, I can't underestimate the importance of all of these services. I mean, I know myself personally that I went to a particular masjid when I was a teenager. I was studying for my GCSEs, and I went to a masjid, and in that masjid they were providing help for GCSE students, and those brothers there, mashallah, jazakumullah khair, they taught me something that served me for the rest of my life, and I used for every single exam. They taught me things that I didn't know, that you had to get a curriculum, you had to find out what board you're studying, you get the curriculum, and that you could get past papers, and you could get revised study books and then do the past papers, and they taught me a way of studying that I used at every level of study after that, from GCSEs to A levels to degree to Medina University even as well. When I studied there as well, I used the same principles that I learned at that masjid from those brothers there. So imagine, at Noor Islam, such classes will be taught as well. Funeral services. Funeral services with washing of the body, and funeral prayers will be there as well. Like I said, every aspect of a person's life, from the time that they're born until the time that they die. There will be the preschool facilities. So the nursery there that is already existing, that will move into the new building. The Alima course, where young girls can learn about Islam and go on to be teachers of Islam as well. Madrasa, weekend madrasa, and a daily madrasa there, where kids can learn how to the important aspects of Islam, what we believe in and what we have to do, and how to read Quran and surahs and things like that. Dawah services, calling people. Obviously, we're in a non-Muslim country, so calling people to Islam, and a very important aspect. Many masajid are not open to non-Muslims, but Noor Islam will have dawah services there, where people can come in at any time and ask about Islam and get educated about Islam. Hifz class, important aspect of learning the Quran and protecting the Quran, that will recommence again, inshallah. IT courses for teaching people IT, which is a major form of major aspect in our lives these days. Adult classes, so languages and all kinds of things that people need. Also, there will be a community hall hire. So, for example, if you have older kids, for example, now young adults, and you're looking for somewhere to hire for a wedding, there will be a hall there for wedding functions as well. So these are some of the services, and I'm sure that once the building starts, that there will be other new initiatives. Everybody, mashallah, has seen the size of the building. Inshallah, there will be new initiatives that will be able to help the community further. And we're not to forget as well that I'm a teacher at the Noor Islam Primary School, although it's not on the site. It's not on the site. It's a little bit further away, but we are still part of Noor Islam. We're still part of Noor Islam. And I was just looking at some of the comments of ex-students, and these ex-students of ours now, they're about in their mid-20s, and they were so appreciative of what Noor Islam had put them on a path, what Noor Islam had done for them in the early years of their life, and how Noor Islam had instilled the love of Islam inside their hearts. And I was looking at those comments there, and it really softened my heart. It really it made me think that, yeah, alhamdulillah, you know, all the efforts that everybody at Noor Islam had placed had really been worth it. When we see these young adults, and they're on the straight path, practicing Islam, and it really made everything for me totally. All the efforts that everybody has been putting has made it really worth it. So I remind you that the Prophet ﷺ said, "Man naqasat sadaqatun min malin," that when you give in charity, your wealth will not decrease. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will provide you with new wealth in avenues that you could possibly not ever think of. Now, so I'm trying to encourage everybody to give as much as they can. Try and give as much as they can, sacrifice on other things, because when we help this project rebuild, when we help finish this masjid, the benefit will come for us, ourselves, in this world and in the next, and upon our families as well, and in the future generations as well. And even when we're dead and buried in our graves, inshallah, the charity that we gave would still return for us reward as Sadaqa Jariyah into the future, until however Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, however long Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wishes. Now, like I said, I work at the primary school, and we're collecting at the primary school as well. Our classes there, they are collecting for the project rebuild, and they're competing against each other, and the children of each class, they're competing there. And and the competition between each other, it is really heartwarming. You see the kids, they're so pure and so innocent in what they're trying to do. One of the children, they said, I want to give all my money to Project Rebuild. SubhanAllah, it reminded me of Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu. He wanted to give all of his money towards the Project Rebuild, SubhanAllah. So I will provide a link below. They are the link. You go to that link, and there will be the different classes of the primary school, and all of that money goes to the Project Rebuild. So we're just trying to encourage the kids there to give in charity as well. So the next generation, inshallah, will help to give in charity. You can give directly to the mosque as well, and this money will go directly as well to the mosque, inshallah. But it's just to encourage the kids there. I'm collecting for year 5, so if you want to give for year 5, inshallah, we would appreciate that. So everything goes to the Masjid. I reiterate that and express that there, that whichever class you give to, all of it goes to the Project Rebuild. So I'd like to thank you. If you've given in the past, then thank you. If you can give again, if you can give as many times, then don't see it as a burden. When Nur Islam or any other organization comes to you and asks you, it's an opportunity. You are blessed to have been given this opportunity. How many people, how many millionaires, how many billionaires never have the opportunity to spend their wealth to please Allah? Yeah, they never have that. They never have that opportunity. So now you are presented in a way to spend your wealth that will gain you reward in the next world, will be a proof of your iman on the Day of Judgment. Will be proof of your iman on the Day of Judgment. So don't look at it as a burden, but look at it as an opportunity, as an investment. Just like if somebody came to you and said to you, give me £10 and I will make it for you $1 million. We would jump at that. We would kiss their feet. And we would say we would be so pleased with such an opportunity. So in a similar fashion, in a greater fashion, that don't look on this as a burden. Don't say, oh, how many times will Nur Islam keep on asking for money so that they can finish this masjid? The reward will come to you. The reward will come to you and your family in this world and in the next, even greater there. So please give as much as you can. If you've given already, please give more, as much as you can. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.